Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Boxing. I'm your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always, my man with the master plan. Oilers 3-1 up in the conference series, looking to take on Florida coming up. Arturo Gotti in full effect, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited. We have a fun show today for everybody.
Absolutely. Now, if you guys are wondering who is here with us right now, we have Mr. Håkan Johansson all the way from Sweden. Where exactly are you from, sir? And welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm from Stockholm, Sweden, the capital here, but I'm in the UK a lot for boxing, so there it's my place to go for boxing.
Absolutely, I can appreciate it. Yeah, UK for you is like Vegas for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So before we get into it, we want to talk about Josh Taylor, the fight that happened this past week, and then we want to take a look at Moses Itauma as well. We're also going to take a look at the preview of the Caleb Plant and the Charlo fight happening this weekend in Vegas. But before we do that, tell us how you fell in love with the great sport of boxing so people know who you are a little bit.
Yeah. I fell in love in the late 80s, early 90s. But here in Scandinavia, at that time, it wasn't that much boxing that was on TV here. But I fell in love with the heavyweights at that time, with Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe. So on that time, late 80s, early 90s, I fell in love with boxing.
Fantastic.
Okay, quick question for you. I know you know the exact number. How many? I know you got the ringside live. How many fights have you been to roughly? Because you're always at a fight. I can't keep track.
I've been to around close to 70.
Yeah, so a lot.
But I started to go to live events just over 10 years ago. A little bit over 10 years ago. Before that, I hadn't been to live boxing so much. So it's the last 10, 15 years that I've been active to go to shows. So that's the reason. If I had been earlier, I had been at a couple of more than 100. But
have you ever
been to? Very active.
Have you ever been to a fight in Vegas?
No, I have been to US once for boxing, and that was the MSG for Taylor Serrano.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool. And I heard you were talking about that on one of your guys's hits that you guys were doing. So, guys, just so you guys know, both these guys, Mr. Michaels and Mr. Johansson, are part of a boxing pool, I like to call it. These guys compete with other boxing analysts, other podcasts across the world. This thing's actually really cool. Hosted by Red Corner Boxing, Mr. Neutral, and I believe The Jam.
Yep, Jam.
Yes.
Yeah, The Jam. These guys are amazing. They asked me to be a part of it as well, but you know what? My plate is really full with everything else that I got going on. So I left it with my man, Mr. Michaels, who is currently sitting in second place, I understand. And I heard that you were in first place right now.
Håkan's been in first place since week 1. Right now, he's not over yet, but yeah, he's gonna probably, I don't know. We'll see.
So guys, I am sitting here with 2/3 of the top 3 guys in this pool, which is amazing. So I got to be sharp here. I got to make sure I know my shit.
I started well in the first 2 weeks and have a bit luck with my picks for the fights.
Well, you know what? It's one of those kind of situations. You took the early rounds. You padded your rounds. You padded your points. So if this thing goes to decision, hopefully those early rounds that you put in will work out for you. But I got to be a little bit biased, man. I got to go with my guy up there in the corner just because. So I'm proud of both you guys. It's hard work. It's probably tougher than doing a soccer pool or football pool, or any other kind of sports, just because of the setup. Guys, just so you know, these guys are not necessarily picking the round per se. I don't know if you guys get bonus points if you pick the round as well.
No, rounds aren't applicable. Just TKO, KO, SD, UD, majority draw.
So those are tough things to pick, man. But respect to both these guys. Love you both. Let's get
Thank you.
into it. Guys,
Good.
this weekend we had Josh Taylor return after a bit of a layoff again. He went up in weight and he's fighting Essuman here. I'll tell you what, man, I watched the fight and I think it was a fight of, two fights split up basically. You had Josh Taylor come out really strong in the beginning of this thing, really, really making his mark. I think it was the adrenaline of that Glasgow crowd, that home crowd, that really motivated him. Moving up in weight as well, I wasn't sure what to expect from the guy, but he showed himself up pretty well. Third round, he kind of got caught, and it looked like Essuman had kind of started to settle down on this fight a little bit. What did you guys see?
Håkan, take it away. You're the guest. You go first, bro.
Thank you. I was a bit surprised about Ekow Essuman in this fight. I had Josh Taylor to win the fight, but on a close decision in my prediction. But I was surprised that Ekow Essuman was so good. So fair play to him that he won the fight. I was over in the UK for a Friday show, and I was traveling when the Glasgow show was on, but I watched it the day after the fight.
Okay. Yeah, I predicted on our box league I had Essuman to win by decision. I thought the first 3 rounds Taylor had it. Fourth round was really explosive, and then I felt that's why they call him the engine. By round 5, his cardio started taking over. Taylor started weathering a little bit. The cardio, lack of inaction. He's getting older. And Essuman just turned up the brakes. It was a hell of a good fight, though. I mean, it was a lot of action. I think Taylor's going to retire, actually. Some of the people are encouraging him to retire. He's not sure yet, but it's just not the same Josh Taylor anymore. Maybe a few years ago he would have beat Essuman, but not now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. I think that with the cut that happened in the 7th round as well, that kind of influenced and probably motivated Essuman to kind of get out there a bit more. That 10th round was all Essuman, landing 7 solid shots in that 10th round. Josh really looked tired at this point. The question with Taylor now is, and then the scorecards, just so we see 116, 113, 116, 112, and 115, 113. I have no problem with that decision at all. The better man won. Ironically enough, he's older too. Taylor's only 34. Essuman came into this fight at the age of 36.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that the only fight out there left, it is if the trilogy with Jack Catterall. The only fight I can see is left for Josh Taylor.
Yeah, I think he should retire. He's coming off 3 losses now, man. Catterall, Teofimo, and now Essuman, right? I mean, I think maybe this is his time to kind of think about something else. I don't know if Catterall would be a good. Well, maybe it'll be a good fight.
It'll be a good fight because it's the last money fight left for Taylor.
Yeah,
he fights Catterall versus Taylor. Big money fight.
Why I mean that fight could happen, but that's the only fight out there, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you completely. It's a question: does Catterall want to take a part of that fight as well? It's going to be interesting to see. All right, we have lost Chance for a second moment here, but in the meantime, why don't we talk about Moses Itauma, who also fought on this card? Really, not much to say. I mean, what was it? 3 knockdowns or 4 knockdowns in 2 rounds here. He basically handled the American very, very well. What did you see in that fight? We're talking about Moses and the Moses fight.
Håkan, take it away, bro.
Yeah, Moses Itauma is the next big star in the heavyweight, and I hope that they step up the opposition now. He needs a step up in opposition, and he's number 1 WBO ranked. So I would like to see a step up in opposition. Maybe a fight like Bakole, but I think he stops Bakole too pretty early, but could go a few rounds if Bakole could get into the fight in shape.
Yeah, the thing I love about Moses is he's exciting to watch. 2nd round, finish the opponent off. He's like the next Mike Tyson. Will he pan out that way? We don't know yet, but so far he's on that trajectory. He's like the new Mike Tyson, and like you said, Håkan, he's got to step up the competition. I think he will, but man, is he fun to watch. Well, one of the most exciting fighters right now, just from what He's going to knock you out. It's fun to watch. It's something about two big guys fighting that's just special. The heavyweights, you know?
No, 100%.
One shot and you're out.
Well, okay, so we know that he's going to be on the undercard of the Usyk and Dubois fight. We don't know who he's fighting yet. We know it's not going to be Bakole or Parker, but he is on that card. We know this now. Frank Warren has announced it. Here's my question that I have for you both. Okay, Jared Anderson was the North American version and touted as the same kind of, next big thing in heavyweight boxing. I'm talking about Jared Anderson here in the States. Completely derailed. He hasn't come back looking the same. He hasn't looked good. My only concern about Moses is, do you think that fighting a Bakole or someone like that right now would be beneficial for him, seeing how young he is? And he hasn't really had a big step up in competition. So do you think it's safer just to keep him on the trajectory he is before you expose him to that? Because we saw what Bakole did. I know Bakole has lost a couple fights here now and whatnot, but do you see my point, Håkan?
Yeah, I can see your point, but in my opinion, Jared Anderson did step up too far from to when he fought Bakole. He needed a fight, at least a fight at the before that. That was a big step up for him, and Bakole had been inactive, but he saw his chance, and he just dominated him and knocked him out completely. So, but I think Moses Itauma has fought a little bit better opposition. So I think Itauma is for me a much higher level than Jared Anderson.
Okay, fair enough. So, Chance, just you missed out there for a second. You had to take care of something. We were just talking about Jared Anderson and how they had kind of, pigeonholed him as well. And I think this is the one mistake, and it's very rare to say this about Top Rank and how they bring up their fighters. This is the one mistake that Bob and crew made, in my opinion, in putting him in those positions where he wasn't ready. And I was asking Håkan if he feels that Tommy Moses is, ready for a step up in competition. Me personally, I think, him and Dave Allen should go. I think that'd be, in my opinion, the next fight before you put him at that next
rumor
level.
They're saying he might fight Allen on the undercard of Usyk Dubois. We don't know yet. If they do fight, Moses will knock him silly, but it'll be fun because Dave's a brawler too, right? So that'd be a hell of a good fight.
I think so. I look forward to that, because I just think Bakole's just kind of diminished himself as well. I would have called him the boogeyman after the Anderson fight, and if he had done something against Parker. But even in his last fight, he barely could put it together. So, let's see.
I believe Dave Allen has just signed for Matchroom, and they are looking for a fight in Sheffield for Dave Allen.
Okay.
No, I don't think they're looking for a Itauma fight from Matchroom at the moment.
Right.
They want to have a little bit easier fight to have in Sheffield near his home in Doncaster for Dave Allen.
Well, the future is bright for Moses Itauma. Everything is in his hands and his team's hand. I see great things coming from this guy. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, we're probably going to end up seeing a Dubois Moses Itauma fight in a few years' time from now, man. And as the world of heavyweight boxing evolves, the new names are starting to step up, and that's a beautiful thing to see. I mean, growing up, we were in the heyday of Tyson, Lewis, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then it kind of just sauntered off a little bit, and we got all the big guys, the big heavyweights names again. Let's see. Now we got the next generation of guys to see how they can play this all out. All right, guys. Let us take our passports, hop on a plane, and let's head over to Vegas this weekend at the Michelob Light Arena. Being in there, like it. Chance, I got to ask you a question, though. Your favorite arena, the MGM Grand or the Michelob Light?
I love Mandalay Bay because they got the best pool. But if we're just talking for fight arenas itself, I give the slight edge to MGM, but Mandalay Bay Arena is right on its heels. I love them both.
And I'll be honest, like I said, I got to see David Benavidez fights one at MGM, the one that he had against Caleb Plant, and then we saw the other one against what's his name there, Andreas. So we got that. I'll tell you what, I like MGM because when you walk in there, it's kind of like walking into the Montreal Forum, the old one, the history, the you feel it, you feel the energy, you can smell the sweat,
feel special.
Blood. Yeah. It's a very special arena, but something about that Michelob Arena too. It's just brighter. It's wider. It just looks more spacious. I don't know. They're both great, man. If you're going for a fight, you can't go wrong with either one of them. But you know what? Caleb Plant is making his return. 23-2 going up against Resendiz, 15-2, the Mexican. What do you guys think, man? Tell us about this fight. I personally think it's just a safe fight to get himself up there again.
Håkan, start it off, bro.
I agree. I think this is a safe fight for Caleb Plant to get it to title contentions, in my opinion. And I think he will win on a late stoppage is my prediction.
Good prediction.
And you picked decision, right?
For Caleb Plant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. The thing with Caleb Plant, he is the better boxer. This fight here is, if Caleb Plant wins and Charlo wins, they're going to fight each other next. This will be Charlo's first fight at 168 at super middleweight. But yeah, Caleb Plant should win this fight. Will he knock him out? Maybe. I don't know. I think he'll do a decision. But yeah, Caleb Plant's a heavy favorite in this fight. But this card is set up for Plant and Charlo to both win their fights decisively, and then we'll see those two guys go at each other, and they're going to be having a heck of the way those guys will badmouth each other and get on it. It'll be a lot of hype for this fight if they both win. See, I have Plant winning fairly easily.
Yeah, I look at this fight this way. I look at Caleb Plant. He needs to fight with his mind and not his heart in this particular fight, because Resendiz is the type of guy that he's fearless, man. He'll come in and he'll get hit and hit and hit to get his shot off, right? So the best thing for Caleb Plant would be, my opinion, would be to fight from the outside and work him from the outside and wait for his opportunity to go inside and get him, because Resendiz is just a crazy guy that way. I mean, these Mexicans are that way. They'll take 5 shots to get that one shot off. Do you see it that way, Håkan, or how do you see it?
I have to be honest here. I haven't seen the Mexican in any fight, so I can only go for what I've seen with Caleb Plant.
Sure.
And but I think when looking at the opposition, his opponent has fought before, I think Caleb Plant is a step up in levels, and I think Caleb Plant will handle him not very easy, but he will handle it and win on a late stoppage.
Well, Resendiz just fought in February. He got a TKO over Fernando Paliza. Yeah, so he just fought a few months ago. So this guy is aggressive. He's a power puncher, and he likes to come in close. But we know Caleb Plant's got the footwork. He's got the jab. He's got the power. So Resendiz won't back down. I think he's going to make it a good fight. He's not going to let Caleb use his slick footwork and all that. And Resendiz is got momentum in his mind because he's coming off a knockout in round 5 of 3 months ago. So that makes it dangerous for Plant. But in saying that, Vegas has no respect for Resendiz. Plant is a 9-1 favorite. So you have to put $900 on Caleb Plant to win 100. Put $100 on Resendiz, you'll get 900 back.
And let's keep in mind, guys, these guys are former sparring partners as well. So they do know each other. They have worked together in the ring. They know each other. Rumor has it that Resendiz had gotten a little bit of the better of him. I don't know, until they allow cameras into sparring sessions, everything is hearsay, he said type of stuff. You know what? I'm going to go Caleb Plant with Mr. Michaels here. And I'm going to think this is going to go decision, only for the fact of the aggressive style of Resendiz. And, Caleb, will he be able to make the adjustments? Will he fight from the outside? Will his emotion get the best of him? We've seen that happen with him before, right? So will he fight the smart fight? And this is why I think he's going to play it smart, because he knows what's at stake. We've had so many upsets in the year of 2025. Just last weekend, we talked about it, right? Josh Taylor getting upset. None of us really saw that happening, but it was a possibility.
I called it on the show.
Well, there you go, brother. If we're going to have an upset on this card, I predict this one to be the upset, but I will go Caleb Plant, majority decision. I think Resendiz going to get his shots in. I don't think this is going to be a cakewalk by any means. Now, talking about cakewalks, let's talk about the next fight on this card. Jermall Charlo will take on Thomas Lamanna in the chief co-main event of this card. Guys, I'm going to leave it to you guys. Tell me what you guys think, man.
I'll start with this one. So we got Charlo. We all know his background. Former IBF, WBO middleweight champion. But now he's moving up to super middleweight to try to obtain his third title in his third weight class. He hasn't fought in a couple of years. He's had the mental health break. He's got the DUI. So he's been off his game. He's got a 60% knockout rate. So he's definitely the heavy favorite in this fight. But how will Charlo be mentally coming into this fight is the question. At a heavier weight class, he hasn't been hit this hard before at this weight. We'll see. I got Charlo winning by decision, but you don't know. And he's 35 years old. So your reflexes start slowing down around 35. Will it happen on this weekend? We don't know. But I have Charlo edging out a close one, but you never know what Charlo will show up in the ring. Take it away, Håkan.
Yeah, I agree. Charlo has been very inactive, and I'm not sure about how prepared he is for his comeback. But I go with Charlo UD win, but I think it will be a fairly close one. But I think he will get all three judges.
And Charlo is undefeated. He's never lost before. So there's nothing more than Lamanna would love to put that one loss on his record, get rid of that goose egg. So Lamanna's motivated. He's got nothing to lose. We all expect him to lose. So who knows what he can do? That makes him dangerous.
Well, I look at this. I mean, if you think about it, I give Charlo the edge in boxing styles. I mean, he's a puncher's boxer, and he works really well off that front foot. Him working, the body with the constant punches and stuff that overwhelms his opponents. So see if that kind of comes into play. Right now, you would have to give him the edge in that over Lamanna. That being said, I think he also has some mental edge as well. He's just been in their bigger fights, three-time three-division world champion. He does have the mental edge. So, I mean, everything is working in the favor of Charlo. The only thing that goes against him is his inactivity, and it's outside of the ring shenanigans. How's that going to play out? Is he going to be like his brother and hop on a bicycle and just ride around the ring if it gets too tough? We don't know what kind of Charlo are we going to get. You know what I mean? So that's what makes this fight fun. Otherwise, on paper, it should be all Charlo. This should be just a cakewalk. I mean,
Lamanna's last 4 fights, he's won by knockout, but that hasn't been with upper echelon opponents. He is ranked number 11 by the WBO, so it's not going to be a cakewalk. And Lamanna does have power, so I think he's going to rattle and frustrate Charlo. That could make Charlo do something crazy in the ring. We don't know with him. But ultimately, I'm going to give Charlo the edge and experience and fought better fighters. I mean, Charlo's last fight was 2023. He beat up Benavidez Jr. Yeah.
He was on the same guard as David was at the Mikolaj Arena there as well. We saw that fight as well. And incidentally, I got to hang out with Junior after that fight. We were there for that fight, and I got to hang out with him. And I tell you what, man, what an amazing – those two brothers, say what you want about the Benavidez brothers, great boys. Really great boys. What you see on the camera is what you see from most boxers, but once those lights are off, you get to see the real guys, and they're amazing, both of them. Just really.
So the dad's nice too.
I'll put it this way, Håkan, just so I can share with you. After that fight, they took me in. They brought me back. I got to go to the press conference with the team. They took me back to their hotel. I got to spend the evening into the early morning with that team, just hanging out, having pizza. It was like a family affair. It was beautiful. So,
wow.
It was just amazing. We got close with them because they're based out of Seattle. They're based out of Seattle and Miami, and Seattle is about an hour and a half away from us.
We went to the gym. We watched David train. We've had him on the podcast. Very nice. The brother is a little more, in all honesty, Jose Jr. is a little more personable than David, but David is a super nice guy too. They both are very, very good.
Yeah, because I walked up into their...
And this is the part I love most in boxing, that you, as a fan, can get connections with the stars. In other sports, you can't get those connections that easy at all.
They
are very fan-friendly.
I tell you what, man, this man just came off a loss to Jermall Charlo. We walked into the hotel suite, and I ended up talking to him for 25 minutes, just sitting there. just talking about everything and just about the fight, and me reassuring him like, hey man, this is just one moment, like of all a podcaster reassuring and making him feel better, and it was an amazing feeling. I still talk to them to this day. We text back and forth. So
Okay, you're right though. Boxing is one of the very few sports where you can get access to top fighters, trainers, managers, promoters. We're not doing that in football. You're not doing that in hockey. So you're very right on that. I'm glad you brought that up. Great.
Yeah, and when you go into a show, if you are ringside, there are so many famous fighters around ringside that you can have a chat with. So that's really nice. I do get it a few times when I'm in the UK.
Who's the most famous fighter that you think that you met at one of these shows?
I haven't met the like Joshua, Tyson Fury type of fighters, but I met a few like Josh Warrington.
Oh, cool.
And that like Josh Warrington I have met a few times. So that's I would say Josh Warrington when he was at his best might be the one I have who's most famous.
I got to meet because my buddy does boxing shows out here, and he used to bring in like famous stars like Holyfield and Mickey Ward to try to draw the fans in, but it wasn't really working. So I got to meet Holyfield, Mickey Ward, a couple guys like that, which is pretty cool. All nice guys.
Oh wow! I met a few of the biggest stars in female boxing, though.
You know what? Vegas is a great place for this as well, because a lot of the times, if you leave the arena and you wait at a certain spot, they all come out at the same time. So, we were able to meet Teofimo that way. And, again, Teofimo, we've talked about him at length on our show, and again, when those lights are off, completely different individual. I don't want to take away from his gamemanship or his character, but what an amazing guy as well. Carmelo Morton, met him as well. We got to meet Eberly. Just the list goes on and on of all these great guys that we've met through Vegas. So it's just amazing.
You ever get a chance, Håkan? You ever come to Vegas for a fight? We'll meet you there, but come to Vegas for a fight one day. There is nothing like Vegas for the fights because it's in the hotels. They're like mini cities. We got pools in there, restaurants, nightclubs, and all. Like he said, after the fight, all the fighters, even fighters that aren't even fighting, come out. They all hang out in the lobby, and you'd be in heaven there, my man.
Thank you. I would love to. Vegas is on my bucket list. I would love to go there.
But make it happen, brother man. You can even come
here and hotels and tickets. So I have to think about it, but I would love to do it in the future.
No, absolutely. And just remember now, the invitation is open. You have 2 places in Vancouver that you can call home and as a base, and even fly out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Because for me, London is my base. All my family lives in the UK. So a lot of times, all my family's in the UK. So a lot of the times what I would do is from the age of 8 till the age of 18, a school finish here, I would go directly to the UK and spend my whole summer there. So
where in the UK?
We were in London. We're in West London in Heston and Slough. That's where my family is now. But originally we're all from Hounslow, which is just right by Heathrow.
Okay. I'm going to London in 2 weeks' time for the USIC Dubois.
You're lucky, dude.
Yeah.
You know what we should do, Håkan? If you are able to do it, we'd love to get you on the show and do a live hit with you. Talk about the atmosphere and everything like that. If you can do it, we can work something out.
Yeah, we could do that. We could try to do that. I would love to do that.
Okay, we'll arrange something. We'll work on that. All right. Okay, I tell you what, we're getting late here. It's getting late for you as well, so we want you to enjoy the rest of your evening peacefully. But before we let you go, sir, Mr. Michaels likes to play a game with our guests. It's called the name game, we call it. I know we can probably come up with a better name, but we call it the name game for right now. So the name game goes like this. He's going to throw out a name at you, and we just want your instant reaction to that name. Are you ready? Okay, let's
I
do
got
it.
it. I got a special one just for you, buddy. All right, Ingemar Johansson.
Yeah, that's the Ingemar Johansson, 1959, against Floyd Patterson.
My man.
At the Yankee Stadium. My dad always talked about that fight when I grew up. My dad was has sadly passed away, but he was a big fan of the boxing at that time. So I have a lot of memories from my dad, from Ingemar Johansson.
There's another name I'm with. How about Lars Meyerberg? Number 4 ranked Swedish boxer.
Lars Meyerberg was a good amateur boxer. He won a medal at the Olympics. So he was a good amateur boxer. Sweden had a lot of good amateur boxers in the late 80s.
All right, let's go. Let's get to one who's a little more famous. Babu Jack.
Yeah, Babu Jack. He's born in Sweden. He has a Swedish mother, but when he went over to the States, he wasn't. He just went over to the States and had a few fights over there, but he didn't get the big ones until he went to the Floyd Mayweather's gym, and then his career just started there. And what he has done is amazing, to be 3-weight world champion.
Yeah, and last one, we're going to go with one of the biggest boxers of all time, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, what can I say about Manny Pacquiao? One of the best fighters ever, in my opinion, to be world champion in so many different ways.
Eight different ones. Yeah.
Yes, and but I'm not a big fan that he get his chance for the get into a rank without having fought for 5 years. For me, he should have got one fight before and then got a world title opportunity.
Well, Håkan, I would argue that only for the fact that when a man who's won 8 world titles in 8 different divisions, you almost feel that, okay, when he decides to come, it's like Tyson Fury, right?
Yeah.
Like every time he retires, he comes back right into a main event type of fight. So, I think I almost feel like if you've earned it, and this is a guy who has no controversy, God-fearing man, good to his, good to the community, always helping out his community. I mean, most of his purse goes back into the community.
Oh yeah.
So, I can see your point. I agree to a certain extent, but I mean, it's one of those kind of things where if there's anybody in boxing outside of Triple G that would deserve something like this, it would be him. But I do have one question for you on the topic of Babu Jack. Babu Jack challenging or offering Jake Paul a title fight. Do you agree with that? Do you think Babu is trying to get that big paycheck? And do you think that's risky considering Jake Paul can throw?
I don't like it at all. I think what Jake Paul has done for female boxing is absolute amazing.
Absolutely.
And for me, I would like him to stay to be promoter and not calling out the big stars in boxing where he's not on their level at all. So
well, maybe fighting Babu will take him back down a peg or two, because I think Babu should handle him.
Yeah, pretty easily.
Which is why he probably won't. Which is why Jake probably hasn't accepted the fight.
Babu Jack is
but we will see now with Chavez Jr. fight for Jake Paul.
Yeah.
He's a smart businessman too.
Yeah.
And this Chavez Jr. hasn't been on any good level for over 10 years.
Oh yeah.
And Jake Paul can get that name on his resume and then talk that I knocked out a former world champion.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. But then so many other guys.
Badu Jack's smart because he realizes he could probably beat Jake Paul, but he'll get paid the most money he's ever had in his life fighting Jake Paul. So for Badu Jack, it's all about making that money, and I can't blame him for that.
No.
Yeah,
all right, guys. I tell you what, let's wrap this baby up. It's time to go. Guys, we have a great weekend of boxing here. We've already had some great fights happen over the week over in Japan. We'll talk about some of that next week as well. But this weekend, we have Kayla, Pant and Charlo. I called this the card of easy fights. If you look at the card overall this weekend in Vegas, it's basically safe fight night, right? That's what I'm going to call it, the safe fight night for both these guys. So let's see how it all plays out. Maybe we'll get an upset. Maybe we'll see what we're supposed to see. Guys, my name is Bobby Sampson. I'm joined as always I'm joined as always with my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great ACDC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you. Everybody follow Håkan and Ringside Live on X. Check his content out. It's good stuff.
Håkan, thank you so much for coming on the show. We look forward to having you back on here, hopefully in July, to talk about the Dubois stick. We'll watch it, but I want to know more about the atmosphere and how it feels. I mean, there's a different feeling being there than there's a different feeling watching it on DAZN. So, looking forward to hearing your reaction to the crowd, to the atmosphere, and just to the energy. And can't wait to get you back on. Guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, 2025 and beyond. This is the year of hard work, patience, and faith. Nothing happens without hard work, and you got to have faith in your hard work. And you got to have patience. That's the hardest thing. You can work hard, you can have faith, but have your patience, because those other two elements will pay off if you're patient. Forget the naysayers, forget the people who don't believe in you, because they're nothing but fucking people who don't want you to succeed, because they're too afraid to hop on the ball and get it done themselves. Guys, have a great weekend. It's summertime, almost kind of soggy today, but that's okay. Samp&Chance and Håkan wishing you a goodbye. Samp&Chance and Håkan are out.